Hey everybody, part two. I hope you watch both, okay? um, oop, okay, I thought I was getting a message now. Anyhow, so about my gynecological horror story, or horror stories, whatever, and all that is that I was I think did I leave off where I was giving birth and stuff, and that I think that last check that she did, I was so dilated that time I don't remember her hurting me, but that check that she had done, I want to say maybe the day before, it really hurt. Either the day before or the day before that, something like that, because I went in, her due date was supposed to be the 24th. She was born on the 27th. I had gone in on the 24th, I believe. And that evening, I was induced, but I didn't go into, like, I didn't deliver until the morning of the 27th. So, hope that makes sense. Anyway, something like that. That's either that or it was the 25th that I went in. Either or. Anyway, whatever. um, it's been 6 years ago. Um, but in other news, what other? Oh, why? Okay, so the one doctor, and this is what, if I remember correctly, what prompted me to bring it up on that previous endeavor. The other doctor, or the doctor that I had picked specifically because she was a black woman, and like I'm a open-minded person, okay? Like I don't need you to be a certain race or gender well, gender, yeah. But race, I'm open-minded, if you know what I mean, when it comes to my doctor and stuff. And when I say gender, I preferred having a female doctor, okay? That one I would prefer. But color wise, because I'm like, well, we're both women and we understand each other, and okay. Anyway, but when it came to race, I didn't care at all, right? But I am in these black women's spaces online, and so many of them have talked about black doctors, black doctors, black doctors, and just pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. Like, yeah, I would only go to a black doctor, only a black doctor, and so on. And so I'm like, damn, okay, well, let me try this. Because to be honest with you, I have rarely ever had a doctor who was black work on me, ever. The one time off the top of my head that I specifically remember a black doctor, and this may not have been my only black doctor, but this is the one time, was I had gotten some kind of spider bite, and my mom had taken me to a clinic, and this guy gave me some antibiotics, like, complimentary antibiotics or something, whatever, just in case, like, it got infected or something, something like that. And that was a long, long time ago. So that's the only time I specifically remember having a black doctor. It doesn't mean that that is my only black doctor. It just means that my memory bank, that's the only one I remember. Okay. So I didn't know what the difference would be, but all these people who look like me were saying, go for a black doctor. So I picked a black woman doctor. And can I tell you, what a bitch. Okay. And I'm sorry to say that, but and so were the other bitches, by the way, that I mentioned previously, who were, by the way, non-black. But this woman was a bitch, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you got to take my black card, okay, but no, she was not nice to me at all. Let me tell you what she did. So uh yeah, we did, we were doing a well woman check. This was back in 2023. I'm not going to name her because funny enough, she had a lot of happy clients. Like, she was extremely well respected and everything. So she had a bad interaction with me, and I think with every job you're going to have a bad customer, bad day, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to hold it against her for all of her other clients and try to dismiss their positive experiences, but this was mine. So um, I was very, very nervous because, as I've mentioned, I have been traumatized from bad gynecological exams, okay? The woman who was my regular OBGYN during my pregnancy, who was also a woman, she was a white woman. Anyway, she was very nice and considerate and gentle and everything. And she definitely put me at ease and everything. This woman was very like, let's get to it. Like, she had no bedside manner. I explained to her like I was super nervous. For one, I had asked her about checking my hormones. I'm 40 years old at the time of this, and I had asked her to check my hormones, and she's like, "I'm not checking your hormones, and you're only 40 years old." Like, I'm like, "Whoa, okay." Like, geez, you know. And with all the perimenopause conversation going on, then that is kind of disturbing, you know, that's how she felt. But that was one of the things. The other thing, what else? She kept trying to push the HPV shot on me. I had the same partner. Um, that's a story for another day, but you know what I mean? Like, I was low risk, or considered to be relatively low risk for like HPV, and she kept pushing it on me and stuff. It was weird. But that's not a big deal that much, except, but no, when it came to the examination, this is the biggest part of the story, is that I was nervous. And I was even, oh, that was another thing. Just like with that one lady at Planned Parenthood, I had asked for a smaller speculum. And she said, "You've had a baby. You don't need a smaller speculum," without looking to see if perhaps I might need a smaller speculum. Just because, you know, their gynecologists can be, well, that one was a hypocrite, because many of them will tell you, "Oh, the vagina, it is elastic where it expands and contracts and everything. So, you know, you don't have to worry about being stretched out or anything. That's not really a thing, you know, whatever." They'll tell you that. And then this bitch, and I'm sorry to call her that, but I'm calling her that, is going to sit up there and tell me that because I had a baby vaginally that I'm stretched out basically, so I don't need anything smaller, which was not true, by the way. Post birth, sex had become kind of painful sometimes. Like, you know, so that's not true. Anyway, that's another story though again. But the last bit of this is just to say that I had asked because I was super nervous. She did not put me at ease at all, didn't even try to. No comfort in this bitch. And I'm sorry, I'm calling her a bitch a million times. I apologize. Anyway, no comfort in this lady. And she had a assistant in there, and I'd asked, you know, "Hey, is it okay if she holds my hand while you examine me, because I'm like freaked out right now," you know? And I've had people, like maybe somebody's drawing blood and someone will hold your hand, or so, you know what I mean? I've had stuff like that. When I was getting my epidural, somebody was holding my hand, so I thought that was okay. Like, hell, I don't care if you use a glove, you're just holding my damn hand, you know, as a little comfort. Well, she's like, "No, no, no, she can't hold your hand." And I understand the whole witness thing, but then have somebody else come in too. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't say, "Oh, well, I don't have anybody else to spare as a witness." She's just like, you know, "You're being a big baby," and just like, she tore me a new a-hole. Like, she was such a fucking bitch. I'm sorry, she was. Okay, nasty woman. Sorry, to me. And she couldn't properly examine me. Like, I was trying, but I was like also very nervous and like closed off, so she couldn't examine me the way she wanted to. But so she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna put in your chart that you're very difficult to work with." I'm like, and I wasn't rude, I wasn't mean, I wasn't being a so-called Karen or anything. I was just explaining like this, you know, I've been traumatized. I'm nervous. Like, you know, you've never examined a patient that was nervous for a gynecological exam, and you're doing this very personal thing. So, not a nice woman. And the fact that she added that bit, it makes it even more egregious about like, "I'm going to put in your chart that you were difficult." So yeah, that's where all the bitches come from. In case you're wondering, like, why would you keep calling this woman a bitch over and over and over again? That's why. That was a nasty thing to do. And so I don't know what my medical chart looks like, because the only thing I've seen since that examination was my Quest results and stuff. Which, by the way, I'm okay. But that's all I saw on there. But yeah, you know, that was a very negative experience, and it taught me, do not pick somebody because they look like you. Don't do that. Don't do that shit. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people are sensitive because the D